So I was looking up on I went to Google and I'm just like, oh man, I know this video is not gonna mean too much to a lot of people, but I just had to really call this thing out because I was just really deeply like thinking about it. I'm just like, wow, you know, depression. She's this whatever this lady wrote down. She was basically saying, these are books that's gonna help the kids' anxiety and then depression and all that. Okay, now these folks is going way too far. And first of all, why does it look like there's a monster, some kind of T-Rex or whatever, eating a child? Like, look at you see the pictures of of the cartoon, and it's just like, what in the world is they doing? And got a skeleton, and what a skeleton represent. That skeleton represent death. And so it's just crazy, man. The times that we're truly living in. And they have a trans kids book. I'm not gonna say the full word because I don't know if they'll flag me for it. But they have a trans for kids like books. Yeah, they got all this wicked stuff now. They're pulling all this stuff out of nowhere. It's just crazy that the times that we are truly living in, man, that they're really after kids. That's why we have to really truly keep kids up in prayers, and really most of all keep the parents up in prayers, man, because there's a lot of parents that's not really being parents. And I hate to really say that, but that's just the way it is. And some parents, they get really upset, or somebody get defensive. Oh, you can't talk about parents like that. They're parents. Anybody that make a child, you're not a parent. I'm sorry. You're only a parent when you sacrifice and when you're concerned, when you're always in their ear about the right things, how to turn away from the wrong thing. That's when you're a consider of a parent, and you're providing, doing what you're supposed to do as a parent. Some of these people that's just bringing kids into this world, they're not even parents. I done seen so many people, trust me, all on Facebook. Somebody, hey, happy Mother's Day to you and this and that, but don't know that that mother is always going out partying rather than sitting at home and teaching their kids something, or rather being around their own kid. They take time out of their day to get rid of their daughters or their sons and go party all night. That's not being a parent. Hey, you can say what you want. That's just not being a parent. That's just not being a parent. And it goes for the fathers as well. That's doing other stuff all in the streets with their boys and all that. And hey, take my kid. I'm trying to go do this. No, you got to take care of a child. You have to. And we're living in a society now. You can't even speak on that now. Folks will get so angry with you. Oh, let her do what she want. What? This is the reason why kids is getting that trans spirit. This is the reason why it's going around, because parents is not. They're not being careful. They're not being concerned. They're not thinking. They're just living in their own little world, like feeling like, I'm a teenager, I'm gonna go do this. No, when you done had a kid, you got to put them teenager and childish things away. You are now an adult now. You have to take care of a child. And this is why these demons is always able to come out. They can make all these demonic books. They can make all these trans books and stuff like that. And these kids don't even know what they're reading. And around this time, kids that are like 8 or somewhere about 8, 7 or 8, around there somewhere, they're in the process. Anything that you say to them, anything that you teach them, they're gonna pick it up right off the bat, and they're gonna think that's right. That's why we have to start speaking and start praying for these kids, because kids, they're easily influenced. They'll take anything, literally anything. If they see two boys kissing in a book and stuff, they're gonna think that's right. And with you not being a parent, not being there and saying no, that's wrong. No, you need to leave that book alone. They don't say nothing, because why? Because let's be honest. Some parents, they just want to just do what they want to do. They just want to do what they want to do. They don't. They say they want to be parents, but they don't want to put in the parent work. They just don't. That's why, like the Bible said, faith without works is dead. You say you got faith, but you ain't putting in the work. So it's just, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. We got to be careful. These books and stuff like that. When you talk about anxiety and depression and stuff like that, that's for God to handle. That's for God to heal and deliver. You need it. Why they won't give the Bible in the schools? But they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. They're totally against the Word of God. They're totally against the Word of God. Now you're talking about these books is gonna help anxiety and this and that. What is a look like a T-Rex eating a bunch of kids? How's that gonna help? How's that gonna help their anxiety? Please. I'm trying to figure that out. How's that going to help the anxiety? I just don't see how that's going to help. No, give the word of God about healing. That God is a deliverer. He's a healer. Because God, that's a job for God to do. That's why I put on my thumbnail. This is a job for God. Anytime you talk about depression, anxiety, and all this other stuff, that's a job for God. Because depression is a spirit and anxiety is a spirit. All those stuff are spirits from the devil that the devil constantly throws at them. That has to be dealt with by God. These kind of books right here, they're not going to help. Not going to help at all. So I'm just saying, that's why I really want to do this video. I don't know how far it's going to reach some people, but I pray that it reach the right ones to know to be in your kid's ear. You need to know what's going on, what they're doing. Even if you got to go, if they're going to school, they ask the teacher's question, hey, what does my child learn about? I mean, what are y'all teaching? Be honest, because these folks, they're pushing stuff. And the reason why they push stuff, because a lot of folks is delusional. A lot of folks is not even really thinking. I did a video about a couple weeks back. There was this little boy, he said out his mouth that he wants to be a murderer. She said, what do you want to be? The boy said, you can go back and look at the video. He said, I want to be a murderer. That's what he wants. I said, oh my God. It's a demonic spirit, man. We got to pray.